comes down to this. 2 rivals, 1 win, 1 loss, and just 1 to go. This side of the basketball tournament bracket finds Jayhawk Hoops and Purple Rain tied at 1 game apiece with everything on the line in the 3rd and deciding game to come. Meanwhile, the Syracuse alumni team, Boeheim's Army, has already advanced and will face Kentucky's alumni team, La Familia. Those 2 teams will battle on Sunday. Later tonight, it's the Aftershocks against the Enchantment, Wichita State's alums against New Mexico. Greetings, folks. Alongside Stan Weber, I'm Mark Ewing, and welcome to Courtside here at Bramlage Coliseum in Manhattan. And the 2 games that have been played so far have been so enjoyable, Stan, because the intensity level has been so high.
Yeah, it's the first time ever in TBT history that you have a 3-game series. And in this series, these teams are getting to know each other better and better, but also the teams are getting to know each other better. How did we get here? Well, in Game 1 in Bramlage Coliseum for the first time in TBT history, a player playing for the first time in a TBT, Michael Beasley, was nailed with 20 points. Xavier Sneed, he helped out as well, knocking down 3-pointers. They led every minute of the game. Purple Rain led by as many as 19. Trice dunks, and it's an easy 80-61 win. Then we move to Topeka. Game number 2. Jayhawks Hoops is the home team. And Frank Mason, the All-American National Player of the Year, gets things going as Zeke Mayo, a current player fighting for NBA opportunity, makes some shots. And at the end, it was Frank Mason to finalize this game. Elam ending and a win for Jayhawks Hoops.
The numbers reveal that the talent has risen to the surface. Jayhawk Hoops led by Frank Mason III and Billy Preston. And meanwhile, the Purple Rain led by Michael Beasley and Xavier Sneed. So let's get ready to go. Jayhawk Hoops and Purple Rain, only one will emerge victorious tonight. Starting lineups and our tip-off are just ahead as these 2 teams will battle to advance here in Manhattan. The basketball tournament started as just a bold idea among friends and has blossomed into one of the most exciting events on the summer sports calendar because of national TV exposure, viral social media moments, and featured rivalry showdowns like this one, featuring former players from K-State and Kansas. The event has delivered a high-energy experience. Here's your starting lineup for Kansas. Jacob Hanna will start alongside Frank Mason. Zeke Mayo, Billy Preston's the lineup, and Carlton Bragg Jr. will start at the other 4. The Kansas State lineup, the Purple Rain starting lineup, are presented by We Them Ones, and Kamal Stokes will get the start alongside Brandon Childress, Xavier Sneed, Michael Beasley, and Austin Trice. And as important as the stars of this game have been, the supporting cast will play a big role here in Game 3 of this series.
Game 1 and 2. But the guys that I look at who could be a giant variable tonight is Zeke Mayo for the Jayhawks hoop side. This is a guy that played in the summer league for the Atlanta Hawks. He is in shape and right on the verge of being an NBA player, and he is so athletic that he can make a big difference, a three-point shooter. And then Austin Trice, number 23 for Purple Rain. This guy plays well. He is physical down low. He will be able to get dunks and play athletically. He shows a lot of energy, but he's going to have to play well on the inside because Jayhawks Hoops has had the advantage on the inside. Billy Preston has been so good working inside, outside. Jamari Traylor's helped Carlton Bragg. It's really important for Austin Trice to play well. And Zeke Mayo, those are guys to watch in addition to the big four that lead these two teams.
Only one of the 14 teams entered will claim the $2 million prize that comes with a championship victory. We'll play a total of 4 9-minute quarters. Each team is allowed 3 30-second timeouts, 160. Here's some differences. The players allowed 6 personal fouls. Technical fouls result in 1 free throw. And with that, we're ready to go. Stepping into the center circle, Austin Trice. And the tip is controlled by the Purple Rain, who will go to work. And with the basketball is Brandon Childress, 6-foot point guard, who last played at Wake Forest. Kansas with man-to-man defense, and on the back door, Beasley scores. Nice pass inside.
Points in the paint has been a big difference in these two ball games. Purple Rain leading the way in points in paint in the first game, and Jayhawks Hoops dominating in points in paint in the second game. This time getting the ball inside is a good adjustment.
Billy Preston, fadeaway shot, no good. Hits the back of the rim, and Kamau Stokes pulls away the rebound for the Rain. Looks behind her to Beasley. Beasley, guarded by Preston, goes to Stokes around the perimeter into Childress. Childress on the drive, guarded by Hanna. His shot's up, no good. Long rebound, pulled down by Jayhawk Hoops. Here comes the Kansas alumni back the other way. Quick shot from Preston from 17 feet, falls. And so far, one and done for Kansas on 2 trips down the floor offensively.
Kamau Stokes with the basketball is the first change in the starting lineup that Purple Rain has had. Will Michael Beasley be a bigger factor on the rebounding side? He has not got his normal 10 rebounds a game. He got 1 defensive rebound, but his passing has been excellent, Mark, all tournament long. If he gets the ball anywhere near the paint, he has been just as lethal passing it as he has been shooting the basketball.
Foul is going to be called on Jamari Traylor. And 2 shots are going to come from Austin Trice. Trice, 6'8", 26 years old, scored 16 points in game number 1 and had some absolute fury on his dunks. And then game number 2 came back with 6 points.
He was 8 and 9 from the field in that first game, but where he struggles is at the free throw line. So you might find Jayhawks Hoops saying if he gets the ball close to the basket, it'll be better to foul him, force him to go to the free throw line rather than let him have that chance to throw it down. He loves to dunk.
Purple Rain trying to add their 3rd point on the scoreboard, and they will do exactly that. So remember, game number 1, Purple Rain led from start to finish. Game number 2, Purple Rain led for most of the game until the Elam finish. And then Kansas had a dramatic comeback. Inside, Traylor's shot no good. Rebound pulled down once again by the Purple Rain. Jonathan Beasley looking for Sneed. Foul's going to be called. Looks like it's going to be on Mason.
Xavier Sneed was trying to post up Frank Mason, and there was a foul. If you have on the 15 foul, it's 2 free throws, no 1-and-1, and you see right there the officials saw that pusher trying to be physical with Xavier Sneed. He's been the most consistent scorer for Purple Rain in the first 2 games.
As you talk about rules, the 5th foul of each quarter results in a bonus. Non-shooting fouls get 2 free throws. Underneath, shots up and good. And the Purple Rain are out to a 5-0 lead over the Jayhawks. And the hometown fans here in Manhattan are energized by the Purple Rain start.
The last time they played here in game 1, it was a 10-1 start for Purple Rain and a 13-3 lead early.
Mason, long shot. Missed everything, and the Purple Rain grabbed the rebound, but the outlet pass goes out of bounds, and Jayhawk Hoops will get it right back.
There's been a lot of energy, and we are sitting at 1-1 in a series. But the Jayhawks Hoops team has been playing from behind all the time. Here's Frank Mason. He's the guy to go to. 23 points in the last game. Air ball, and then K-State unforced error. No Jayhawks Hoops guys even around, and they throw the ball away.
Preston, guarded by Beasley, is going to take a shot from behind the arc. It's short. Rebound pulled down by Trice.
In the first 2 games, it's been Purple Rain leading all the time. The biggest lead that Jayhawks Hoops has ever had in the series is the 4-point winning margin at the end of game 2.
Here's Sneed, 17-footer, trying to find his teammate on the alley-oop. Meanwhile, Kansas back foul is going to go on Stokes. For a moment, the Jayhawk group had a 3-on-2, but the foul will hold it up, and Kansas will inbound the far side of the court. Mayo to inbound for the Jayhawks. What they can't afford here, playing on a 4 and floor is a slow start like they did in game 1. The Jayhawk Hoops found themselves on the rally from the get-go. Near the logo, shot no good. Trailer with the rebound. It's going to go back out front.
You've seen Jayhawk Hoops have Frank Mason off the ball at times. This is the kind of defense that K-State started with in game number 1.
Beasley tried to finger roll it at the rim. Ball tipped away. But the Purple Rain will inbound under their own basket with a 5-0 lead here in the early going first quarter.
Frank Mason III does not have to have the ball all the time, but he needs to be aggressive, getting the ball into the driving position.
Beasley nails the shot. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And the Kansas State Alumni are up 7-0 on the Purple Rain, on the Jayhawks. And so a great start for K-State. We'll go to break. Be back in a moment here in Manhattan. A quick regroup for the Kansas Alumni, who found themselves down 7-0, but the Purple Rain have drawn it up, and they've executed well.
Michael Beasley, he gets the ball. He is the one player who is unstoppable. He can square it up. He can shoot the ball or pass it. In game 2, he didn't get the ball enough for the Purple Rain. He only had 10 field goal attempts in the whole game. In the second half, they didn't get the ball in his direction. He was standing outside the three-point line, not getting inside near the paint, had no assists. That is not the way he played in game 1. And so far, starting tonight, he's had the ball in his hands and made good decisions. And, man, is his shot lethal.
Mason on the drive, guarded by Beasley. Beasley blocks it. Here come the Purple Rain back. Stokes looking for a teammate. Hesitated for a moment. Beasley is going to drive the paint. Finger roll shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Kansas Alumni. It's Preston, and Preston threw it out of bounds. Preston was trying to move it ahead to Hannah, and now the Jayhawk Groups has an uncontested turnover.
Beasley is a good defensive player as well, blocking shots. Oftentimes he has taken off and tried to win the battle down the court and not stayed under there to rebound, but tonight he is doing everything to be a factor in this game.
Childress back out front. This Purple Rain group was out on the floor at about 4 o'clock going through a pretty good practice. Long shot, rebound pulled down by Mason. Kansas is 3-on-3. Hannah to the paint, shot no good, blocked. No foul called, so Purple Rain has it. The score holds at 7-0, and a strong drive from Hannah, but a better defensive play from the Purple Rain. Sneed misses a long 3, and here's Hannah. Hannah against Beasley, inside. Bragg, shot partially blocked. And it's going to go the other way, and Beasley is just compiling the block shots defensively underneath.
Michael Beasley and Xavier Sneed. Watch Xavier Sneed on this one. Get up there and reject it. And then Beasley, for the second time tonight, gets the block, and it bounces off Jayhawks hoops. Carlton Bragg, no points yet for Jayhawks hoops.
Childress on the drive, finds a teammate deep in the corner, thought about shooting. Beasley will do that, and he nails a three-pointer. The first team to double digits are the K-State alums, and it's 10-0 here in Manhattan, the Purple Rain lead.
Frank Mason needs to get to work. You see them get the hands on the ball after it hit the rim. Unlike college basketball, we are playing international rules. If the ball hits the rim, you can go up offensively or defensively, get in the cylinder, and touch the ball. And you almost saw it put back right there. But Michael Beasley doing everything right. And yes, he's also a threat from outside.
Every shot from Kansas has been contested. Meanwhile, the Purple Rain in double digits lead by a score of 10-0. And they're making substitutions. Fresh legs in for the Purple Rain.
Purple Rain played great defense in game one. They're doing it here today. When the game got faster and more open court, that was advantage Jayhawks hoops, and that's what they need to get to now.
Childers for three. Shot no good. Long on the rim. Pulled down. Well, Stokes pulls down the offensive board. He's going to aim up a three. Shot no good. Hits in front of the rim. Battle for it. Orr comes with it. He just checked into the game. He's the Washburn University product, and he'll leave it from Mason to Mayo. Mayo between three defenders, ball knocked loose. No foul called. Mayo 1-1. Gordon Euro step up and good, and it's 12-0. The Kansas State alums are out in front.
Well, the game is going to be physical, and so far, Purple Rain has taken advantage of that.
Bragg, long three, no good.
No offensive rebounders even near the basket after missed shots. That is not what happened in game two. The Kansas Alumni were much better at being near the offensive boards.
Kansas is 0 for 12 at the moment from the field to start the ball game. Meanwhile, for three, shots up, no good. Hannah had a rebound. Bragg pulls it down. Kansas needs a bucket right now on this trip down. Hannah, high screen, drives to the rim, shot good. Hannah, smooth player out of Mays High School, gets the first hoop for the Kansas Alumni, and they are at least on the scoreboard, but down by 10.
Well, that's a good job of attacking the rim.
Juwan Gordon handling, gives to Bebe. Ijalola, ball knocked loose. Purple Rain had it. Gordon drives. Goes cross court, Childers for three, shot no good, and Hannah pulls it down. Kansas has it.
Good defense.
On the drive, Sneed's going to get called for the foul that time in the bump. And we're going to go to break here. The Jayhawks and the Purple Rain. Kansas State up by 10, 12-2 here in Manhattan. Kansas went the first 5 minutes and 49 seconds without a field goal, but K-State's group just took over. Michael Beasley, 7 points and 3 block shots in the first quarter.
He has got off to a quick start. First of all, receiving a pass from Trice, making a nice layup, turning and shooting the ball deep, but even better on defense, blocking shots, keeping Jayhawks hoops out of the lane, and then adding a three-point shot. He has made his only three-pointer. He has been a big factor, but the one thing that the Purple Rain has got to be a little careful on is they shot over 50% of their shots in the last game behind the three-point arc. They have shot 50% of their shots here. So they got a big lead of 12-2, but they better be careful just relying on that. That's what allowed the Jayhawk hoops teams to come back
last time when they were 14 points down in game number 2.
Mario Chalmers is in the lineup for Kansas. He's 40 years old and playing for Jayhawk Hoops. And meanwhile, on the side, a whistle and some stoppage. I don't want to say, Stan, that it's hand-to-hand combat out there, but the Purple Rain defensively have been right in the grill of the Jayhawks throughout this 3-game series.
Yeah, and I think Jayhawk Hoops are reacting and playing better defense. Also, nice drive again by Jacob Hanna.
Hanna's led the way for the Kansas Jayhawks so far. And Sean Williams out of St. Louis is in the lineup, guarded by Hanna.
He likes to shoot the basketball. He's a guy that, off the bench, takes a lot of shots.
Sneed, shot up and good. And he's been fouled. He'll step to the free throw line. Xavier Sneed, who had 27 in game number 2, hits a three-pointer and a chance to make it 4.
You want to talk about the best news for Purple Rain is they've got this big lead without Xavier Sneed really being a factor scoring the basketball. He has been consistent. He's been the leading scorer on average for Purple Rain, this time shooting the ball and getting fouled by the young man from Washburn University, Andrew Orr, trying to block the shot. Doesn't get there, and the 15th point is on the board as Xavier Sneed has made some unbelievable three-point shots in this tournament in the first 2 games.
This officiating crew of Jarrett Howell, Anthony Burris, and Trent Chaney are making sure this was a three-pointer instead of a two-pointer.
It was.
So both teams have headed to their respective bench while they figure it out, and it's a three-pointer. So now the lead extends to 11 points for Jayhawk Hoops, and they'll emerge from the timeout. Each team, by the way, has one review for the game. To use the review, the team must have at least one timeout. But what's really new about this TBT this year is that the alumni bracket is separated from the non-alumni bracket. You may remember in past years, if you follow the tournament, a Sneed steps to the free throw line for 1 and connects. The Kansas State matchup sometimes didn't happen because they had to win one game to get the matchup, and either one or the other would not win their game, their first round game. But a 3-game series is what the fans want. On the drive, foul is going to be called.
And you hear a lot of talk about that. That purse is a $2 million purse now. And you think about it, the alumni bracket has only 8 teams. And we are tonight going to be down to 4 teams with the 2 games here on FS2. And the Las Vegas Open bracket, they're going to find a champion of those 6 teams. And then the winner of the alumni bracket will play the Open bracket champion at the alumni's home court for a final possible $2 million payout.
Chalmers on the drive finds a teammate, Bragg, trying to save it before it goes backcourt. Chalmers had it for a moment, went high to get it. And after the scramble, it's going to stay with Jayhawk Hoops. So like we said, nothing easy for Kansas. And that was not an easy trip down the floor. The Jayhawks need to get an easy hoop on a transition bucket.
One of the great things about TBT as Frank Mason comes back in is you get to say you see Frank Mason and Mario Chalmers on the floor together at the same time.
Gordon on the steal, comes up with the Purple Rain. Turnover again for Kansas on an out-of-bounds play. And here's Sneed. Sneed wants the shot from 3. No good. Hits in front of the rim. Kansas has it. And now it's 2-on-1. Bragg to the rim. Shot no good. Bragg comes up with the rebound. This shot is off. But this time his foul is going to be called. This is going to go on Gordon.
That was an opportunity to go score. Fortunately, Bragg will get free throws here on a missed opportunity where they had big numbers advantage. And that's where Jayhawks Hoops has been able to be the better team throughout the first 2 games. When it becomes more of an open court game, they've been able to get out and get going. But Lance Harris wants to play in the half court. His team has played great defense. Lance Harris played for the Wildcats from 03 to 07. And he is the head coach right now, a head coach over in Europe as well. So he takes it very, very seriously and enjoys this new format where you get to make adjustments. Used to be single elimination in TBT tournaments, but to this year, you see adjustments from game 1 to game 2, and now game 2 to game 3. It brings in the coaching even more.
Lance Harris played for the Wildcats 2004 to 07. Other than Hanna, who has the 4 points for the Jayhawk Hoops, the rest of the team is 0 for 11 from the field. So Bragg Jr. will step to the free throw line. What a nice man he is. got a chance to have a long conversation with Carlton Bragg Jr. prior to the game. There's Lance. One thing about Lance, currently the assistant coach for Dubai basketball. Listen to the places that Lance has been. France, Greece, Italy, Russia, Slovenia, Turkey, Montenegro, you name it, he's been there. And the first free throw attempt from Bragg misses. It goes in, so 16-5 is our score. So he is the only Jayhawk other than Hannah who has scored so far. And another opportunity here.
This is not an unusual position for the KU alumni. They have been trailing close to double digits almost all of both games. So they know this thing does not end until it's all over. And with the Elam ending, it can last long enough. If you make clutch plays, you can win it at the end.
Cartier Jada has checked in for the K-State alumni. Meanwhile, Mason looking for a teammate. Finds Mario Chalmers, who thought about it. Pass inside. There's Carlton Bragg. Give Mario Chalmers the assist. And all of a sudden, Kansas, with 2 free throws and then a bucket, have cut the lead down to 8.
Mario Chalmers has not played very many minutes, but he's been effective passing.
Beasley hits the front of the rim. Mason with the rebound on the weak side. Gives out to Hannah. Hannah wants to run with it. Between 2 Purple Rain defenders, gets to the rim, and he is fouled, and he'll step to the free throw line. Boy, you got to love Jacob Hannah as a player. We don't get to see him a lot because he's at Washburn, but let me tell you, he's a first-team All-MIAA pick, and because the Jayhawk group won on Wednesday, he concludes his career having never lost a game at Washburn University's Lee Arena in Topeka. What a feat.
Yeah, he's part of a Division II Final Four team with that Washburn team based out of Topeka. Do you see the open court, how that is an advantage for the KU alumni? The faster we play, it seems the more the scoreboard's lighting up for them. Purple Rain would much rather get set up so they can get that good defense in line and play it from there. And then on the offensive end, the more touches you can get to Michael Beasley and Xavier Sneed in the half court, the better chance of scoring they have.
I will mention that the Jayhawk Hoops team is in the bonus after 5,000. Chalmers with the block on the drive, and that's what you can do when you're 40 years old. Boy, you got to admire the play, the defensive player by Chalmers on the drive. Look at him sweep it away.
Offside help. He was the third one to get there. He did not play very much in game 1 or game 2. Will he be able to take on more minutes?
Jada, this is the 3rd game in 4 days for these 2 teams. So youth, a major factor in this ball. Knocked loose. Kansas has it. Mason between 3 defenders, almost lost the handle and finally does, but Hannah's got it. Long 3, no good. Bragg went up for the tip, and that is how the first quarter will end. We promised you a high-octane basketball game. We've got it so far. The alumni from Kansas on the rally have narrowed what was a 12-point lead. It's 16-9 as we head to the second quarter here in Manhattan. Well, the entire Vegas Open bracket is continuing at the M Resort in Las Vegas. The Alumni bracket had included a pair of venues in the state of Kentucky: historic Memorial Coliseum in Lexington, Freedom Hall in Louisville. Boeheim's Army at Hall played at Walsh Gymnasium in South Orange, New Jersey. Charles Koch Arena on the campus of Wichita State. While Bramlage Coliseum is where we're at the moment, we present for you a live look-in at the Vegas Open bracket. Fire Alert is taking on the Mecca at the moment. And so a lot of basketball from coast to coast in just a wonderful outing here. But that alumni bracket is a lot different. The Vegas Open bracket is different in that it has the look of like the bubble in the NBA. Remember the COVID days? Meanwhile, in Manhattan, you have a live audience and a loud audience in a 16-9 battle here. So fun to look at. The Mecca leading Heartfire Elite 30-21 with inside 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Meanwhile, alongside Stan Weber, I'm Mark Ewing. Welcome back to Manhattan as the JHX Hoops goes to work. Frank Mason tried to hit with the left hand, got his own rebound off a block shot, leaves for Zeke Mayo. Mayo on the drive, looks to Mario Chalmers for three. Shot is no good. Rebound pulled down for a moment by the Purple Rain, but a foul was called.
If you want to watch the Las Vegas game, you can do it on YouTube, and you see the Mecca, who had a lead in that game. It is a group pool. You have a couple of games against the other teams in your pool, and one of the winners of Group B will play Group A, and it looks like the Mecca, who is winning this game, might be on their way to a 2-0 finish, and they would be the Group B winner if they're able to hold that lead tonight.
And once again, the Las Vegas Open bracket winner, once they're seeded and they play one another, will play the winner of the alumni bracket. It will take place on the alumni bracket winner's home floor. That is assured. Here's Beasley back in the ball game on the drive, or guarding him to the corner. And here's a turnover. Mayer's got it. Kansas is 3-on-2. Mayo spins around, left at the hoop. Shot partially blocked out of bounds. Mayo's been a little bit frustrated. He's taken it to the rim a couple of times, and no foul has been called. He wanted one that time. We get a different look.
What the players want is consistency, and we're getting it. I mean, the physicality when you get in the paint is advantage defense. There's a lot of good defense played, and they're not wanting to give up anything, but if there is any doubt, it is like, let's play on, guys, and it's happening at both ends of the court.
So Frank Mason, the inbound, he was the consensus National Player of the Year in 2017. He's making his third TBT appearance. And Mason off the screen works to Chalmers. Or underneath, wide open, shots up and good. And give Chalmers the assist. Chalmers' ability to play point guard has really relieved Mason of that responsibility. And it has worked for Kansas. They're back within 5 of 16-11, and they forced a turnover. Cross court. Mayo thought about it. He's guarded by two defenders and then throws it away. Tried to go cross court. Tried to find Carlton Bragg. That was a tough angle.
Yeah, you're not always on the same page with guys that you've only played with for a few days, and you'll see once in a while a pass just get thrown and the receiver not be there, and that was a turnover, missed opportunity.
Beasley, the three, if it goes, it didn't. And Mayo, another opportunity, another really example of not playing together a long time in the outlet pass. Almost mishandled that. Here's Chalmers. Zeke Mayo wants the shot from three. No good. Hits the front of the rim. Rebound pulled down by Trice. He's back in the ball game.
Well, Trice is going to have to rebound well because you're seeing another bad pass. There's no reason to try to throw the ball all the way from the top of the key from one end of the court all the way up to the sideline to try to get the ball to Michael Beasley. So we've seen some unforced errors by both teams. But you're seeing the JHX Hoops team crashing the boards a little bit more. That's what they had great success with in Game 2. And Purple Rain did not match them in that rebounding category on the defensive side. Tonight, it looks like they're there to battle. When the ball goes up, it's been crazy physical down low.
Mason, Sneed left. Preston left alone. Ball rebounded, loose, and the Purple Rain have it. Back the other way they go.
Traylor took off, and he could have had that rebound.
Childress in the corner, ball knocked loose. Kansas with a 2-on-1. Sneed now makes it 2-on-2. Preston, floating shot, no good. He was right at the rim and just couldn't get it to drop. Another frustrating play for the Kansas group.
Well, the summary of the first two games is a lot of very good basketball. But tonight, both teams look a little fatigued. You don't normally see Billy Preston miss a shot like that. Now, is there an effect because there's been a lot of shot blocks, no foul calls? Did it have it in the back of his mind? I don't think so. We're seeing a little bit of sloppy play right now. Who's going to settle down and get back to playing good basketball first?
K-State lead is down to 5 after a double-digit lead early to start the ball game. Kansas was shut out for more than 5 minutes, but have made a nice rally here. Childress on Mayo, and then Hannah and Sneed had a collision. Foul's going to go on Hannah.
Hannah held him. Right now, Purple Rain is still in that danger zone, I think. They are shooting so many three-point shots, and they made them at a good rate in game 2 and still lost. So they cannot continue and win this game if they just rely on an extra pass for a three-point shot. We've seen a little bit of that. They need to find a way to get the ball into the paint.
Childress to Beasley, guarded by Mason. He's about 7 inches taller, and that's going to work. He is tough to stop on the drive, and Beasley makes it a 7-point advantage for the Purple Rain.
See what a difference there is when he didn't just shoot that three-point shot, but drove it in there?
Preston lost the handle for a moment, comes back with it. Shot blocked, and it's going to be a jump ball. And possession arrow is going to go to the Purple Rain. Beasley with yet another block.
He is just an underrated defensive player. When you watch Beasley play, you've got to talk about the offense and the great season he had in 07-08, leading the Big 12 in scoring.
Yeah, Preston trying to work his way through Sneed and Beasley. That's a tough equation as any. And there's Trice on the ferocious dunk. And K-State gets to 20 on the nice pass and the feed inside and the dunk from Trice. And the fans here have come to their feet.
See the last 2 possessions? Feet in paint, and Purple Rain scores.
Mayo quickly rebounds to counter the shot.
And that's what he can give you. If he could just get hot from behind the arc. He started to show that in the 4th quarter of game number 2.
K-State alum back to work. Here's Childress. Cross court. Deep 3 shot. Now stolen. Hannah gets bumped by Childress. And so the foul. Let's take a look one more time. Boy, if you want showtime in the TBT, look at this.
Great pass with Austin Trice. Flying to the basket. Can fly and dunk like no one else here. The physicality that he can bring to the ball game. That's why he shot 8 of 9 in the first game with those kind of opportunities. And that's what I was saying. Purple Rain needs to find him down low, and others like Beasley driving. And that is the scorer.
Mayo trying to work through, finds Mason, his teammate. And here's Hannah. Hannah, floating shot, turns out to be a pass. Here's Preston. Back out to Hannah. Hannah, left-handed shot, blocked again by Beasley. Beasley with another block. And the lead holds a 6. Here's
like I said,
Childress.
a much better defensive player than you might think about, because you love to talk about Beasley's offense.
Drive, shot no good. Hannah comes down with a rebound. They made it difficult for Childress on the drive to the Jayhawk Hoops team. And there's Mayo. Thought about shooting. Kamo Stokes.
That's a great job by Stokes to get out to him.
Now to Trailer. Preston, deep corner for 3. If it goes, it didn't.
A good offside rebound there by Sneed. They didn't do that in the 3rd and 4th quarter of game number 2, and it really came back to cost them after leading by 14 points. But tonight doing a better job of making sure they get the defensive rebounds.
The Jayhawk folks have had a lot of difficulty trying to get offensive rebounds. There's Beasley. Off-balance shot is good. And the Purple Rain lead is back to 8 points.
Are you kidding me? He is unstoppable. Driving as a left-hander to the right. Floats that thing in without using the backboard.
Mayo, shot no good. Trice goes up high to get the rebound. And again, no offensive rebound for the Jayhawks. Looking for that high screen. Childress had Sneed for a moment. Now goes out behind the arc. It's a good matchup. Mason and Sneed. That has been a battle throughout this series. Trice, shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Preston.
He should have put one little dribble in there. He's too far away from the basket.
Mason chased down by both Sneed and Beasley. And there's Mayo. Mayo driving. He's going to get fouled by Childress. So one thing I haven't seen from the Jayhawks, and we'll take a break here. We'll be back to talk about it. 22-14 is our score. K-State Alumni leading Kansas here at Bramlage Coliseum in Manhattan, and they're doing it just like this. Trice with a ferocious rebound, and the point of emphasis here in Manhattan. This game is brought to you by Skechers Basketball. Comfort that performs. And speaking of performance, what a performance has been from Michael Beasley so far. As much as he has scored, the fact that he has started the block party is what he's been known for in this one.
Well, he may be on his way to a triple-double because he has blocked 5 shots officially in the game. Xavier Sneed has one as well. Kansas Hoops has done some blocking as well, but it's been Purple Rain blocking the shot 6 different times. And think about this. JHX Hoops has only 5 made baskets. So more shots blocked, and most of them right at the rim where you'd think it's going to be a basket. Could Beasley get a triple-double? He's got 11 points already, 4 rebounds, and 5 blocks to start the game as Purple Rain has led all the way and leads by 8 now.
JHX Hoops to inbound. And here's Preston. Works out to Mayo, guarded by Kamau Stokes. Is out of the timeout. Chance to set up play.
Xavier Sneed has a job of trying to slow down Frank Mason. That's the main thing that Purple Rain wants to do.
Preston backs away from Beasley, and this time he tried to get his fingertips on it, couldn't quite get it, and Preston's got free throws coming.
Billy Preston did a nice job of stepping back and forcing Beasley to stretch a little further than he should. He wasn't in good defensive position. But, hey, if I block 5 shots, I'd try to block every one as well.
You know, Billy Preston's an interesting story in that he actually never played a minute for the Kansas Jayhawks. He was a 2017 McDonald's All-American, but he was derailed by eligibility issues. He got frustrated and then left. He went pro. I got to wonder, as Kansas fans get a first look at Preston, really, how he would have been if he had 2 years or so under Coach Bill Self and staff.
Well, anybody that spends 2 years under Bill Self is going to play well. That's pretty much a given, and he has done a good job. He's right now finished just playing in the Ice Cube's 3-on-3 Big 3 League, so he's been very active, where you've seen guys like Michael Beasley and Mario Chalmers playing.
Childress, Florvius is in the ball game. John Florvius. Shot short. JHX Hoops has it. Beasley thought about sneaking in and trying to get a steal. Here's Mayo. Mayo looking for a high screen, got it, but the Purple Rain make it very difficult, and that is a high difficulty shot. Mayo off the glass for 2. And the Kansas group is back to within 4.
Yeah, found a nice pocket right there. You know the physicality when you get close to the rim, but there's that 10 feet away. He was able to use the backboard and score easily.
Stokes tried to find Florvius. They hit the floor. Foul's going to be called. But here's Mayo.
Yeah, great decision. He delayed and then took off. And with two big guys, including Beasley right there, and Flo, John Florvius, in position, he just stayed away from that blocking potential. And I really think Zeke Mayo is a big variable tonight. He could go off. He can drive the basketball. He has the speed, and he also can knock down three-point shots. It was a slow start tonight for Jayhawk Hoops, missing their first 12 shots, but they're back within 4 as each quarter has showed a lot of misses, but they played good defense as well, so Purple Rain has not been able to pull away.
Williams out front wants a three-point shot, no good. Long rebound, battle for, and it's going to go the Jayhawks' way or not. We will see. Jayhawks think they've got it. They do have a challenge if they want it, and Sharon Collins, the head coach of the Jayhawks group, is going to call for it. So we get a review here.
The ball pinballing around. You know that the force of Sean Williams, number 22, is the reason why the ball flew out of bounds. But it did it by chance go off Jayhawks hoops Billy Preston. Was Billy Preston's hand in the way at all? It sure looks like it's likely off of Sean Williams. He obviously is the one who had more control of the basketball. Did he have the last fingertip on it?
So keep in mind, as we mentioned earlier, each team does have one review for the game. To use the review, the team must have a timeout. If this review is successful for the Jayhawk team, they can ask for a review to keep their timeout. So reviews are allowed with more leniency once we get to the Elam ending, where the target score is 4 points or under. But every possession matters for this Jayhawk group, and they were certain that the call was missed on the floor, so why not call a monitor review? And that's what's happening at the moment. And meanwhile, the officiating crew of, again, Jared Howell, Anthony Burris, Trent Cheney, making sure they've got the right call, and they've got several angles of it. And they're going to give the ball to Kansas.
It was off Sean Williams. So a good challenge right there, because down by only 4, a chance to get to the half with this game tied or even ahead. It doesn't feel like the Jayhawks Hoops team has been anywhere close to equal to Purple Rain with the energy in the building, with the lead that they have seen from Purple Rain. But the fact is, you look up, it's an only 4-point differential, and the basketball, after a good challenge, is in the KU Alumni's hands.
K-State up Kansas 9 points, Purple Rain 6 points. That's in the second quarter, after trailing by a score of 16-9 in the first quarter.
Little sloppy play, a lot of good defense, not much scoring in this quarter at all.
Here's Mayo, thought about it, got Beasley on his feet. Mayo dribbles to the lane, shot up and good. Mayo used the glass. The Purple Rain fans wanted to travel.
And this is as close as the KU Alumni has been since the first score of the game, because that was 3-0, which led to a 12-0 start.
Stokes, who played a lot of point guard for the Purple Rain, sets the offense. Sneed on the drive through 2 defenders. Didn't get the shot to drop, but the rebound pulled down by Austin Trice. He gets on the right side.
It's smart to get the ball into Xavier Sneed's hand. He needs to touch the ball more for Purple Rain right now, and then Trice needs to be that guy who cleans up the rebounds and scores inside.
Here's Preston, goes right, goes left, guarded by a smaller Sean Williams with Stokes waiting. That's a tough shot, no good. Underneath, Beasley goes high to Sneed from behind the arc for 3, no good. Handel dribbles away with it, and here's Mayo. Back the other way, Mason. Mason's going to go right to the rim. Shots blocked again by Beasley.
That's 6.
Stokes, guarded by Mayo, Finds Beasley. Beasley, shot good. He is tough to handle. You can't coach that kind of offense.
Well, that's why I thought he should, when he caught the ball in the last possession, go up and score. Don't throw it outside for a three-point shot when you're so lethal inside. But this time he didn't throw it out.
Mason once again guarded by Snead. Fans on their feet calling for defense from the Purple Rain. And Mason, that's a long three, and a foul is going to be called. The shot is good. Mason hits the shot for three, and he's going to step to the free throw line for one. A tray and one. What a difficult shot for Mason.
He is so good off the ball screen. He goes off 2 ball screens. Not a lot of contact there, but he smartly kept his concentration on the bounce to the left, able to get the call, get the ball to roll in. What a big play, and he is the guy that's made big plays throughout his whole career. 2017 National Player of the Year, and in Game 2, Player of the Year down the stretch. He was awesome for the Jayhawks team. 10 points out of the 17 points they scored in the Elam ending period. It was Frank Mason. He's the clutch player on this Jayhawks hoops team.
Mason collects the free throw, and the Jayhawk hoops team makes it a one-possession ball game. So as Mason checks out, the one thing about Mason to add, he's at least contemplating retirement. So if the Jayhawk hoops team were to lose, this possibly could be his last basketball game in competition. And that is how the half will end. Basket, no good, but we've got a 2-point ball game here at the break. What a game. It's been fun to watch. The intensity has been high as expected. Kansas has been on the rally after a slow start, and we're going to head to intermission here with the outcome much in doubt as we go to the second half. Intermission coming up here in Manhattan. K-State up by 2, 26-24. Saturday night is baseball night on Fox, and this week the game's biggest superstars take center stage as Shohei Ohtani leads the Dodgers against Juan Soto and the Mets, or Mariners-Rangers tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox. Coming up, we'll take a look inside the numbers. We're at halftime here between the Kansas Alumni and the Kansas State Alumni. Much more to come. We're back in a moment. In a low-scoring ball game and a two-point ball game at that, you'd expect defense to rule the day, Stan, and that certainly is the case as we look at the first half statistics.
Yeah, low-scoring shooting percentages on the first line, very, very low. Either team able to really be a factor shooting the three ball, even though they've shot a lot of them. The Kansas Alumni in every game has got to the free throw line more often. They've got 6 of 7. But look at the paint points. That has been a big story. In game 1, K-State Alumni dominated points in paint. Second game, Jayhawks did. Why is the score pretty even? Well, the points in the paint are pretty even as well.
Second half is coming your way. K-State leads Kansas by 2, 26-24. We're back for the second half right after this. TBT is brought to you by We Them Ones, official partner of the TBT. And greetings, folks. Welcome to halftime. Glad to have you on board here in Manhattan. And alongside Stan Weber, I'm Mark Ewing. And it's been a low-scoring ball game. One-possession ball game. Purple Rain had a great start. It looked like for a moment it's going to be Purple Rain start to finish, but the Jayhawk group is hanging in there.
We have a very interesting situation right now. Purple Rain has not trailed in this game, but like you said, at one point they led by 12 points. They're only ahead by 2 right now. They are completely frustrated. I mean, when they went into the locker room, their heads were down. They were talking to each other as if they just lost the game like they did in game 2. On the other side, Jayhawk Hoop goes in and says, hey, Frank Mason, our main guy, our leading scorer, has only scored 4 points tonight, but they all happened right at the end in an emotional 4-point play, and so they feel very good about themselves. So it's an interesting dynamic. Who's going to be able to come out and get things going? And from a player perspective, I wonder who's going to show up and really play to their normal level first. Frank Mason of Jayhawks Hoops is 1 of 6 from the field right now and 4 points. Part of that's good defense, but also he has the capability to score. And on the Purple Rain side, the K-State alumni, Xavier Sneed, who's been the most consistent player in games 1 and 2, has only 4 points, and he's 1 of 5. Which one of these 2 stars are going to play their game in the second half more like we expect them to? And will Michael Beasley continue to dominate? He's been the one consistent. He scored half of the points for Purple Rain in the first half.
So here we go, 2 quarters to go, including a Elam ending. The TBT, which launched in 2014 and has featured some of the nation's top basketball programs like Kentucky, UConn, Louisville, Syracuse, Ohio State, Houston. Last year's champion, Wichita State, New Mexico is in it. Has K-State and Kansas nose to nose here in Manhattan in a 2-point contest as we begin the third quarter. Hannah looking for Preston. A 3 if it goes. It does. And the Jayhawks are out in front for the very first time in this ball game, following the 3-pointer from the 6'10 Preston.
Well, first time they've led in Manhattan, period. This is the second game. Game 1 was played here. That's their first lead in this gym.
So Kamau Stokes out front, Mason guarding him. Same starting lineup as start of the game with Sneed and Trice and Stokes for the Purple Rain. Childress and Beasley. Sneed on the drive, guarded by 2 defenders. Shot no good. Hannah trying to chase it down. And it's going to be the Jayhawk Hoops team, although the Purple Rain lobbying for their basketball to get it back.
Yeah, great defense there, making it a very hard shot for Xavier Sneed. And you can see out in the court who's on their toes, who's excited, who's confident right now. It's the Jayhawks Hoops team.
Third game in 4 days and a high screen, and a foul is going to be called. Stokes and Beasley were on a switch there, but Stokes is going to get called for the personal foul, as you can hear. And by the way, again, 5 fouls makes it a bonus, so a non-shooting foul automatically becomes 2. Keep that in mind. Hannah from behind the arc. Shot no good, hits the front of the rim, and Trice gobbles up the rebound.
In the quarters that Purple Rain has struggled, they've got into foul trouble very early in the quarter.
Stokes shot no good.
I mentioned that
Mason's going to get called for the foul.
Jayhawks Hoops has shot more free throws every game. And part of it is because Purple Rain has, at times, each quarter is its own entity. You get 5 fouls, it's 2 free throws every time for the opponent. And they've got early fouls a few times. They already have 1 team foul, but here we got Kamau Stokes getting his first start, second time he's played, and he gets hit on the head as Frank Mason III was trying to hit the ball, but accidentally started in the face. So we'll see if Kamau Stokes can stay in the game. It looks like he's okay and going to be headed to the free throw line.
Stokes played for the Wildcats in 2015 to 19. He had a tremendous career, but I do want to point out he graduated from K-State with a degree in kinesiology. So in this day and age when players go to the college ranks, they play a year or 2, give Kamau Stokes all the credit in the world for getting a tough degree here on the campus of Kansas State University.
It'd be hard to get that degree if you transferred 3 times like you see nowadays.
That's right, exactly right.
Credit him, but he played with Xavier Sneed, and they were an Elite 8 team one year.
So a lead change. Purple Rain back out in front as Mayo handles. Preston wants the three-pointer and in and out. Bragg had it for a moment. Rebound pulled down by Stokes. Out to Childress. Cross-court Sneed. Back to Beasley for three. No good. Bragg pulls down the rebound, and now Kansas wants to run. Here's Hannah, one-on-one to Mayo, and Mayo back to Mason. Mason on the drive. Preston left all alone. Shot no good. Rebound Beasley. Tied up. Foul is going to be called. It's going to be Purple Rain basketball. Well, that's back and forth hoops that you love to see.
Purple Rain is actually making sure they're clearing the defensive boards. That's important, and they've done that well here. But Xavier Sneed, when he is driving to the basket, needs to go ahead and score. I don't know why these guys are wanting to pitch the ball to a three-point shot. I know it's Michael Beasley over there, but Xavier Sneed had an easy layup, turned it into a hard three-pointer, and we go back and forth without team scoring.
Childress and Stokes running the guard duties for the Purple Rain at the moment. High screen coming from Sneed with Mayo guarding. And then around the perimeter, Childress, tough drive, fadeaway shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Preston. Long rebound so Kansas can run. Mayo sets for three. Shot is no good. Beasley with a rebound. That was a high shot off the rim, almost fell.
See how there's a couple Jayhawks ready? They want to get the offensive rebound. So Beasley's been there a couple times here this quarter. Very disciplined.
Here's Sneed, guarded by Preston. This is a pretty good matchup. Sneed looks like he wants to test Preston defensively. Shot partially blocked. And it's going to go Kansas' way.
That's been consistent all night long. The physicality allowed when the block shot possibility is there has been allowed all night long. And here's another example where most watching the replay would say, I bet that's a foul, but not tonight.
Meanwhile, Mason to Preston. Preston's going to have to dribble out. I don't think he was ready for the pass from Mason. And there's Hannah driving on Stokes, puts the shoulder down, misses the shot.
Same thing.
No foul called.
Same thing. And that's maybe why these guys are kicking the ball out, because the physicality on a shot blocking is real.
Beasley out front, guarded by the much shorter Mayo. There's Stokes, long three, shot no good. Hannah on the weak side rebound, goes to Mason, and then to Mayo for three. Good! Kansas retakes the lead. We've had a couple of lead changes in what has been an exciting third quarter.
It continues as the pace speeds up. Jayhawks hoops ends up netting more points. Great shot by Zeke Mayo.
Out front, contact between Mayo and Childress. But he got his feet set, did he, on the behind the arc.
See, good push the ball up the court. And this is a guy that I thought is a big variable in the game. Unbelievably, Beasley tripped over himself and goes flying into the baseline. He wouldn't have got there anyway. That was a good pass ahead and a good shot by Zeke Mayo.
Kansas Alumni will defend the one-possession ball game. It's out to Beasley. Purple Rain running a set play here. Beasley, in fact, giving instructions to his teammate. Fadeaway shot through two defenders. No good, but foul is going to be called.
Now, if Michael Beasley does that and gets the ball within 18 feet of the basket and goes to work, he'll make good passes, he'll get fouled, he'll score. All those good things will happen. And Purple Rain needs it right now. But here is a big story with 5:21 left in the third quarter. That's the fourth team foul against Jayhawks hoops. Every foul that's not an offensive foul from here on will be 2 free throws for Purple Rain.
Here's Beasley with his 6 blocks, steps to the free throw line. Beasley now 7 blocks. Consensus All-American Big 12 Player of the Year.
But how important are free throws in a very low-scoring game? If Purple Rain gets altered number of free throws here, it will be a big advantage.
Purple Rain and Jayhawk Hoops fans, show your TBT pride with official Purple Rain and Jayhawks Hoops merchandise. Shop now at thetournament.com and represent your team all tournament long. Beasley hits the free throw. Back in 2008, he was the #2 draft choice overall by the Heat, spent 11 years in the NBA.
He was a teammate of Mario Chalmers of Jayhawks Hoops with the Miami Heat.
And in game #1, they had some interesting conversations. So we're tied.
Beasley was talking constantly in game 1 or 2. He's not doing that in this game. A much more focused Michael Beasley.
Hand on the drive. It's fouled on the drive.
Is the whistle going to change? They've allowed so much physicality. Will there be an adjustment here in the third quarter? The players better watch out and react accordingly.
Preston around the hand of Mayo was right on his back there. A little bit of confusion in the offensive side for Kansas. But here's Mayo. Guarded by Childress. Preston on the drive. Fadeaway shot from 15 feet. No good. Missed everything. And back the other way they'll go. Fans letting him hear about it.
He could make that shot. That time did not. This is the pace that Purple Rain would rather have. Half-court offense, half-court defense.
Childress cross court. Gordon out front to Childress. He wants to get a high screen to set the play. Inside to Snead. Nice pass to Trice. Nicely done by the Purple Rain as they retake the lead.
Well, getting the ball to the paint is something they have not done a lot of. And Trice is the other guy. We mentioned Zeke Mayo is a variable for Jayhawk Hoops. He is the guy, Austin Trice, that can make a difference for Purple Rain.
Now Mayo reverses on the dribble. Preston guarded by Beasley. And now to Mayo. Shot clock inside 10 seconds. Mayo on Beasley. He's got to shoot for three. Shot no good. But a foul is going to be called. If so, it's going to go on Beasley. No?
Wow, it was great defense to start with by Michael Beasley. But, again, reaching out of his defensive zone and getting called. And Mayo doing a great job of selling it.
So Zeke Mayo steps to the free throw line. He's a hometown favorite at Lawrence. That's where he played his high school ball. 6'3", he's 24 years old and played for the Jayhawks during the 24-25 season. He's out of South Dakota State, where he was a superstar, 18.8 points per game. In fact, he was the Summit Player of the Year.
He had a big game against K-State, a 24-point, 3 of 7 three-point shooting game when he was with the Jayhawks playing against the Wildcats.
So Kansas down by a couple of free throws. Zeke Mayo hits the first one. Mayo, in fact, is the only player in the Bill Self era to score 25 points or more in 3 consecutive games, which tells you what scoring output he can put out if he gets the opportunity.
Yeah, he's streaky and very confident. All the coaches are telling him, even though he hasn't had a great percentage in the first 2 games, keep shooting the basketball.
Mayo hits that free throw, and because it was behind the arc, he's got another one coming.
Well, words we had not said a lot of in games 1 and 2, lead changes. We're starting to see that as we get into the second half. A lot on the line between these two teams. They know each other well. The pro leagues they played in and the times they played basketball together as grown-ups. But, boy, the intensity of wanting to win is there with both clubs.
Mayo takes a breath. Mario Chalmers has checked in alongside his teammate Andrew Orr for Jayhawk Hoops.
Purple Rain needs to pass the ball, get it inside, and force the Jayhawks to foul. Without they have 4 team fouls.
Here's Williams to Gordon for 3. Shot no good. Hanna pulls down the rebound. He is quick. He'll bring up the basketball up the floor as quick as lightning. Decides to give to Mason.
That possession was exactly the opposite of what Purple Rain needed to do.
Mason with Beasley guarding him. Ball knocked loose.
And they're saying that Frank Mason reached out and touched it.
And it looks like it's going to be Purple Rain basketball.
You're under the 4-minute mark.
It's a media timeout. Alumni lead by a point. It's a 1-possession ball game here in the third quarter. High stakes. Only one of these 2 teams will advance to the next round. There was plenty of drama at the On Center in Syracuse, New York tonight. Syracuse Boeheim's Army Ty Walker stepped to the free throw line, got one to roll in, and then got the second one to drop, and that is how it ends. The Boeheim's Army has advanced with an 81-76 victory over Seton Hall, and slap it in there. The bracket, at least the top half of it, is decided as the Kentucky Alumni will take on Syracuse. You can watch that game Sunday at 2 Eastern time on Fox. Meanwhile, parts 3 and 4 being decided tonight with Kansas State Alumni, New Mexico, Wichita State to follow our game tonight.
2 game threes to define who is going to be the 2 remaining teams on the bottom side of the bracket. We're going to have 4 teams left in the Alumni division. Boeheim's Army was able, as Syracuse Alumni, to win both of their games. Boy, that Kentucky-Louisville matchup was like this, back and forth, hard fought. But Kentucky ends up winning. Who is going to join those 2 teams tonight with the 2 games that you're seeing on FS2?
Well, and 3 of those 4 matchups went to the 3rd and deciding game. Only Syracuse was able to sweep. Beasley, long 3, if it goes, doesn't. Hits hard off the backboard. Mayo grabs the rebound, and he'll decide to slow it down. Mario Chalmers back in. When Chalmers is in, it gives Mason and Mayo a chance to be an off guard and nearly threw it away. Mason, crossover dribble, Beasley guarding him, trying to step through the defenders, and that is what he's known for. Frank Mason goes between defenders to hit a difficult shot, and Kansas extends its lead to 3.
Getting into the paint, getting going will be important for him. He was unstoppable at the end of game 2.
Here's Williams, guarded by a much taller Orr, decides to take it to the rim. Orr deflects it just enough. He's a Washburn product out of Overland Park. And then he's going to get the ball in the pass, knocked loose, had it for a moment. And the Purple Rain have it.
Frank Mason in the paint. It's something KU fans have gotten used to. How about against Michael Beasley? Stop, start, step through, left hand off the backboard. And just feeling that basketball and saying, let's go, as his team has their biggest lead of the night.
So here's Childress at the free throw line. He's one of the portal players. Each team was allowed 4 portal players, meaning players who did not necessarily play for the university. Childress was a good one. Played at Wake Forest from 2016 to 20, but he is a really good friend of Michael Beasley. That was the connection.
Well, his dad, Randolph Childress, was with the Detroit Pistons in the NBA, and those 2 guys are star father and son. But that was a Kansas foul 90 feet away from the basket. It was their 5th foul, and that's what gave Purple Rain the free throws.
Preston for 3. Bodies on the floor, including Beasley, trying to make a defensive stop. And the Rain have it down by a point. Sneed posting. Chalmers had him for a moment. Sneed wants to try to take him, and a foul is going to be called. So Chalmers... I gotta love the competitive spirit of Chalmers. He thought he got all ball.
He blocked the shot earlier tonight, but he's basically playing defense, trying to be crafty. And he tried to get to the ball right there and said, hey, you've allowed physicality all night long. Why don't I get a chance to whack at the ball? But it was down low, not up high where the shots are blocked. But a missed free throw right there saves 1 point for Mario Chalmers, who's still talking about it.
Sneed was part of that Elite 8 group for K-State in 2019. They also won a Big 12 title. They shared it with who? Kansas. Not that long ago. Tied up again at 35. As Mason and Sneed go head-to-head.
That's Sneed's assignment tonight, and that's why they ball screened to change it up. Force someone else to guard him.
Mason long 3, no good. Or fighting for the rebound. Ball loose is going to go to Purple Rain's way. Good hustle by Andrew Orr, the 6'9" product of Washburn University.
Well, he'll give you that all the time. That's his job, to be the hustler. But Austin Trice is doing a good job of clearing the defensive boards for Purple Rain, and that is a weakness, trying to match up with the size inside for the KU alumni. But he was there forcing the ball to be off JHX hoops.
Purple Rain have a chance to retake the lead. Childress dribbles left, then right, wants a three-point shot. Good! From way behind the arc. Childress nails a three-pointer, and the K-State alumni have retaken the lead.
Wow, that was a long shot. Unexpected to fly it up at that point, but a big shot for Purple Rain.
Mayo handling. Preston. Beasley on him. And Mayo wants a screen. Had it for a moment to Preston. Shot clock inside 10. Mayo long three. Good. Mayo nothing but the bottom of the net. And then signals to the K-State fans across the way for silence. And then a collision on the other end. It's going to be a blocking foul, at least for the moment. Foul's going to be called on Mayo. Man, you love the intensity. This is so much fun.
Finally, we're seeing some shot making. Brandon Childress, as it looks like Xavier Sneed is not out the floor. How about this shot? Through the legs and driving to his left hand, knocks in a three-pointer. What a surprise for Brandon Childress. And Zeke Mayo says, oh, how about from NBA range? He's been playing in the NBA Summer League in Vegas and Salt Lake City for the Atlanta Hawks. He knocks it down. Wow, we're seeing some good play. Finally, some great offensive shooting, and it's tied 38-38. But what is Xavier Sneed's body like right now, playing 3 games in 4 days? He is such a warrior.
The two schools have played a total stand of 305 games in the historic Sunflower Showdown. The Jayhawks lead the series 208-97, but 88-15 since 1984. From 84 to 2007, Kansas actually won 31 straight games against K-State. That all ended when Michael Beasley led the 22nd ranked Wildcats to an 84-75 win here in Manhattan, 2008, over previously unbeaten and ranked number 2 Kansas. So since 2023, K-State has won 3 of the last 8. All 3 victories have come here in Manhattan. So there's your series update with K-State and KU. Meanwhile, Sneed at the free throw line. The Purple Rain with a chance to take the lead. They do so.
KU allowing Purple Rain to walk to the free throw line a couple of times here. The good news, there's only 58.1 seconds left before you clear off the fouls, and it doesn't carry over. It's not like college basketball where it's the whole half. It's quarter by quarter.
Sneed, who started 104 of 137 games during his days as a Wildcat, gives the Purple Rain a 2-point advantage. Frank Mason on the drive. Foul is going to be on Florvius. But Mason, if he sees some space, that's what he did at Kansas his entire career. Somehow he would find an opening, and he would find the crease and take it to the rim and score or get a foul.
Frank Mason understands matchups, too. He sees that Florvius is the only guy who has a chance to stop him from getting to the rim, crosses over, and gets the foul call.
So Mason played in the NBA at Sacramento. He had a 6-year NBA career, so you can consider himself an NBA veteran. Also played for the Bucks, played for the Magic. But of late, he's been playing in France. In fact, he averaged double digits. But a year ago, if I haven't mentioned it, certainly Kansas fans recognize that he played for Boeheim's Army in 2025. Took just a little bit of heat from the Kansas faithful.
It is his 3rd year playing TBT. In 24, he played for KU, and he has scored 25 points against Team Colorado. But last year, somehow, he was on the Syracuse roster.
And don't forget, Mason had 23 points last night, including the game winner, the Elam ending, which was an exciting night in Topeka. That was 2 nights ago.
Elam endings are almost always exciting.
Childress backs up, wants Williams to go to the wing, and he's going to shoot a long 3. Good! Childress nails another 3-pointer from long distance.
That may have drawn rain. It's been a rainy day, and that thing was a mile high, swishing through the net.
Mason tries to counter his 3-pointer in and out. Williams has it.
Be careful.
Purple Rain with 15 seconds, ball knocked loose. It's going to go the other way.
Well, you need to be careful. There is no need to attack the Purple Rain player, Sean Williams, because if you get a foul call, it'd be free throws. But how about the step to the left? He likes that shot. Brandon Childress.
10 seconds to go. Childress has already hit a couple threes in the corner. Williams, no good. Follow-up is good. Sneed hits it. It'll count. It was before the time expired. And what a finish for the Purple Rain here in the 3rd quarter. They'll take a 6-point advantage to the 4th and final quarter here in Manhattan. And what a play, what a finish for Purple Rain here in the 3rd quarter as fans come to their feet here in Manhattan. We'll take a break here. We're back for the fourth quarter after this. As we approach the MLB trade deadline and gear up for football season, here are three guys you can't miss. You got to know what Dave's going to say on Wake Up Barstool. The whole sports world is always looking to hear Colin's takes, and you know Nick's going to surprise you on First Things First. The three voices that set the conversation only on FS1.
We end the third quarter with big-time drama. Purple Rain scores the last 5 points. As you see this putback by Xavier Sneed, there's a dunk, and then there's confrontation between those two players right there. Frank Mason, Xavier Sneed, they each got a technical foul. They each get a personal foul, and that foul starts in the fourth quarter. Each team has one team foul to start the fourth quarter, but Purple Rain has now ended the third quarter on a 13-4 run and lead in this game 45-39, really behind the great three-point shooting of Brandon Childress, a player who played for Wake Forest. What are the emotions going to be like here in the fourth quarter? It is crazy right now as coaches are yelling in the stands. They're talking to officials, and a lot of questions right now as both teams are on high alert. They know there's $2 million at the end of this TBT rainbow.
And you see the conversation, that was Tyshawn Taylor, played for Kansas in the 2012 National Championship game. Mason and Sneed pat one another. Sportsmanship on display. They're ready to go. But we're going to have a couple of free throws, one from each team. And then the possession arrow actually belongs to the Purple Rain. And now they've waved off the free throws. They're just going to inbounds.
Yeah, no free throws. We're starting the fourth quarter, but each team does have one team foul.
Alongside Stan Weber and Mark Ewing, happy to bring you the final quarter here of the hotly contested TBT game. Inside, Austin Trice on the offensive rebound, and the lead is now extended to 8. It's been a while since the Purple Rain had this kind of lead.
7-point run, and Austin Trice doing his work in this game. 9 points, 8 rebounds.
Mason guarded by Beasley. Ball knocked loose. Going to stay with Jayhawk hoops. Childress trying to guard the much taller Preston. But that technical foul just before the end of the quarter also turned up the temperature here in Bramlage Coliseum among the fans. He's making a phone call of his Childress.
Everybody wants their phone close to them, it seems. I don't know if you want everyone else's phone.
He was trying to, I thought he was going to take a selfie, but he couldn't quite figure out how to unlock it.
Here, let me tuck my phone away so he doesn't come over here and grab it. We're really close to the court. But boy, as Brandon Childress put this crowd on fire with 2 bombs that have really set the tone for this last couple of minutes.
High screen Mayo. And with Sneed and Williams guarding, those are 2 really outstanding defenders of Purple Rain. Long 3 from Mayo to try to beat the shot clock.
We talked about Zeke Mayo's ability, and he leads Jayhawks hoops tonight with 16 points. He's hit 50% of his shots until that shot, but Xavier Sneed knows from the coaching staff, Lance Harris, step out, do not let him get a shot. He just steps back a little bit further, but a shot clock violation after the air ball.
Purple Rain on a 7-0 run. They have the basketball and are in control at the moment. And Williams, nice drive miss. Trice on the rebound. Kansas had it. That was a unbelievable athletic play, but he hit the floor really hard, and the foul is going to be called.
Well, I mentioned the good things that Zeke Mayo has done for Jayhawks hoops. I said he was a variable. This is the guy we talked about early in the game that's a big variable for Purple Rain, and that is Austin Trice. He's done a great job clearing defensive boards. He attacks the offensive rim. He's not a great free throw shooter, but if he can get close to the basket, he can make a play, and it forced Jayhawks hoops with his hustle to have their second team foul of the 4th quarter.
Childress inbounds. Nice pass to Trice, who rocks the rim. Mason counters. Shot is not going to count because the foul was before the shot. But Trice has had some voluminous plays, I would say.
Kansas State alumni outscoring Kansas 17-4, and they're getting points in the paint. One of the things we talked about at halftime and before the game, who can get the work done in the paint? And right now, Purple Rain is starting to do it.
Mayo out front, guarded by Williams, waiting for a high screen. It's going to get it from Bragg Jr. Williams is going to call for the foul.
Team fouls are going to be very, very important. If you're not used to the Elam League, we're going to explain a lot more. The clock's going to stop the first time under 4 minutes, and it's going to change completely. And where the fouls are for team fouls will be very important.
Mason got 2 time for a moment. And now Bragg are way out front. Purple Rain making Kansas take some difficult shots, and they steal a pass. Hanna gets it back. Shot no good, but he's going to be fouled.
On the floor or shooting the basketball? That'll be the question. Good job by sticking with it by Jacob Hanna. It looked like Purple Rain had obtained the basketball, but when it fumbled loose, Hanna was right there to grab it, and he is going to get some free throws. Remember, he's the guy that scored first in this game for the Jayhawks hoops with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first quarter. He saw the K-State group score 12 straight before he scored, but he misses that free throw. Points in the paint. Look at game 1. The K-State alumni won that game. Kansas alumni won game 2, and we had kind of equal points in paint at halftime and a pretty equal score. It's starting to separate with that points in paint and on the scoreboard as well toward Purple Rain's advantage.
Childress doing a great job of ball handling at the moment. Inside, Trice wide open, and from behind, Hanna with a partial block, but free throws will come.
Trice is doing exactly what he should. Find himself right next to the paint, either to receive a pass or get a rebound. And it's actually a good play by Jayhawks hoop to not allow him to dunk the basketball. It creates emotion in the arena, and this is the home court for the Kansas State alumni, but it also forces him to shoot free throws, which is much more of a challenge for him than dunking the basketball. And right now you see head coach Sharon Collins talking strategy with his staff.
Trice has 11 points. 10 rebounds, already a double-double in this contest, and hits the free throws. He's out of Chicago, Illinois. He played K-State 2018-19, but ended up at Old Dominion.
Conference USA's 6th man of the year in 2021.
Preston had it for a moment. Ball knocked loose. Going to go to Kansas' way. JHX Hoops teams finds himself down double digits again after several lead changes where they had a chance to seize control during the third quarter. But a strong finish by the Purple Rain.
Much better defense in this game, but JHX Hoops know that they have a chance to come back. They did it in the last game, down by 8 when we went to the target score, and then they dominated at that point. But it's better defense tonight, like Purple Rain. A whistle here, and to the line we see Billy Preston, who's been a very good player. 15 points in the first game, 18 points in the second game.
Billy Preston's out of Santa Ana, California. He attended, I believe, 4 high schools before he ended up at Kansas. One of those is Oak Hill Academy, which is known for its athletic teams. But Preston left KU in 2018, never officially suited up for the Jayhawks. Played for the Cavaliers, got a 2-way contract.
Gets both free throws, which will be important. And right now, Purple Rain is playing without Michael Beasley on the floor. He is getting a rest. Can JHX Hoops take advantage of that?
Mayo tried to slip in and get a steal there, especially with Childress hugging that mid-court stripe.
And team fouls are building up. That's 4 against JHX Hoops. Purple Rain had their 5th, obviously, with the free throw from Billy Preston. So it's going to be an interesting run down the stretch.
50-42, the K-State Alumni are up by 8 as we head toward the finish here in Manhattan. Well, Michael Beasley among the Purple Rain members, operating as a coach player, has done a great job and really has put on a show for the hometown fans as he has 15 points, 7 rebounds with those 6 blocks. He took a rest.
Is he feeling 100% is a question. He was very beat up in game 2 and was trying to stay in there. His stats are very good if you're just joining us, but his stats were about that level at the half. So he hasn't really done much, looks fully rested, but he's not on the court as we go back to action.
Childress trying to look to a teammate to inbounds to, finds Trice, and Trice loses the handle. It's going to go Kansas's way. So this is the point where the JHX Hoops team started to turn it around on Wednesday night. Can they do it again here on this Friday evening?
With the Elam ending, when the clock stops under the 4-minute mark, you erase the clock and you add 8 points to the leading team score. So this is important that you do a lot of work in this last 2.5 minutes before you get to that point if you're the team trailing.
The deficit on that night was 14. Mason to Mayo. Mayo head fake. Shot for 3. Good. He's not going to miss many of those.
He is shooting the ball well.
There's a collision on the end between Williams and Mayo. Mayo went to the floor, and Williams is going to get called for the foul. That ends up being a turnover, and Kansas is finding a way to gain possessions.
And Mayo is doing a great job of baiting the officials into calls. He did on the 3-point shot and on that one as well.
Mason, crossover dribble, finds Zeke Mayo from distance, no good. Preston knocks it to Mason from behind the arc. No good. 2 opportunities from behind the arc. The Purple Rain clear the rebound, and the Kansas State Alumni have a 5-point lead inside 6 minutes to go.
And Xavier Sneed is slow to kind of rubbing his face with his jersey.
Bragg out front, going to be a foul call.
That is not where you want to foul. He gets to walk to the free throw line. 15 foul against Jayhawks hoops. Both teams are in the bonus the rest of the way. 2 shots now every time it's not an offensive foul. You got that. But when we get underneath the 4-minute mark, if you foul, the team gets to go to the free throw line, shoot it, and get 1 shot, and then gets the ball. So it's not like college basketball where you foul at the end, hoping they miss the free throws. No, you get a shot, and you get to keep the ball. So fouls are going to be an important part of this game down the stretch.
Childress has been good at the free throw line. He was a career scorer, 1,415 career points, but he had 443 assists during his time at Wake Forest. And you talk about somebody who's been around the world, as many as these players have with their international experience. Childress, last seen in Turkey, also played in Germany, Greece, Lithuania, Estonia. And getting a good look at Manhattan here for 2 games. Mason driving, 2 defenders on him. Hannah comes up with it back inside. Jamari Traylor with an easy hoop, but give Hannah the credit. What a nice pass inside.
Very good, and we haven't seen a lot of Jamari Traylor in the paint, but he can do good work down there.
Here's Williams. Hannah guarding him. This is a good matchup. Trice now sets the high screen. Hannah works around it. And back out to Sneed. Mason catches up with him defensively. Sneed, fadeaway shot, in and out. Knocked loose. Mayo had it for a second, looks to a teammate, and saves it to Billy Preston, and Kansas has the basketball. Trying to change this to a 1-possession game. Mayo moves. Shot's up and good. Somehow he works around defenders, gets the shot to drop, and that was a high difficulty factor. And Kansas is back to within 1 possession inside. 5 minutes to go here in Manhattan.
Not just a 3-point shooter. He was the guy that I thought would play an important role in this game because he has so much more capability than he showed in the first 2 games, and boy, is he performing. Mason
guarding Childress out front. Behind the arc, lost the handle for a moment. And out of bounds, going to go to Kansas. The Jayhawk Hoops team forces the turnover, and Kansas is going to get it back.
And where's Michael Beasley? Where is Michael Beasley? They're playing without him minute after minute.
Thought for a moment we were going to get a timeout. Michael Beasley is coaching from the sideline at the moment, but man, look at that shot. How did that go?
He did not have a good angle, but when you're hot and you're a scorer, you believe you're going to make the play, and this guy right now has a ton of confidence as he has 21 points in this game.
Got the Elam Indy, and the media timeout will take place at under 4 minutes of the stop, and then whoever's ahead, they're going to add 8 points to that total. That is what the Elam Indy will look like.
And the Jayhawk
we're headed toward that.
Jayhawk fans are standing up. You know, this is not just a K-State season ticket-holding crowd.
Kansas on a 9-1 run, trying to make it 11-1. Hannah's shot hits in front of the rim. The Purple Rain have it.
Can you get a touch by Xavier Sneed? That's what the Purple Rain needs. Last possession, Brandon Childress just dribbled the whole time until they turned the ball over.
Childress, crossover dribble to the left side. Over some defenders. What a tough shot. And the lead is now 2 possessions for the Purple Rain.
Well, no passes there, but this time at least he went to the lane.
Mayo. Back to Mason. Sneed on him. Dribble behind the back. Mason misses it. Traylor had it for a moment. Tie up. Ball loose. Preston thought about shooting the 3 and then backs up. Shot clock inside, 20 seconds to go, 3.5 to go. The next game stoppage will present the Elam ending. Here's Mayo, backdoor. Preston shot's good, but a foul
is going to be
called. An offensive foul will be called.
I'm not sure if it was on Jamari Traylor, but that will set the target score. 8 points greater than Purple Rain at 61 points.
So the Elam ending was created to preserve a more natural and thrilling end of the game. The game clock will be shut off in what is the final segment of the 4th quarter. The target score is 8 points more. We'll give you what they need to do when we come back to Manhattan. Purple Rain lead by 4. Purple Rain hold a 4-point advantage. The target score has been set at 61. Standing by in Wichita are the Aftershocks and the Enchantment. Wichita State's alumni group, New Mexico's alumni group. Game 3, Chris Fosters and Nick Baugh will bring us that broadcast. And that is coming up next, right after the conclusion of this one. Michael Beasley, meanwhile, has checked back into the ball game.
He is well rested right now. He and Snead both are on the floor. How will they handle this? In the last game, Purple Rain played nervously down the stretch, and sometimes that happens with the Elam ending. They started relying on a 3-ball, and the Jayhawks completely dominated them.
If Kansas is to win, they'll have to outscore the Purple Rain 12-8. Childress on the drive, long 3. If it goes, doesn't. Rebound pulled down by Preston. And what Kansas did, well, ball knocked loose. Stokes has it. Purple Rain 2-on-1. Childress to the rim. Ball knocked loose. Kansas comes the other way. Bragg underneath. It's blocked from behind. Bragg had it for a moment. Out of bounds. And what a defensive play once again made by Michael Beasley and the Purple Rain.
Xavier Snead and Frank Mason. Are you kidding me? It looked like Purple Rain had the easiest layup ever. 2-on-1. Mason steals the ball. And the Jayhawks say, we got this. Easy layup. But Xavier Snead blocks the shot. It's been a block party all game long. Wow. Were those two amazing defensive plays.
Stokes trying to find a teammate. Tried to look for Trice. The pass goes out of bounds, so Kansas is going to have it.
He thought he got pushed in the back, but they're not going to call that right now. They've allowed physicality all game long, and we expect it to be that way this last stretch of not minutes. We're not worried about how much time's left on the clock. Like pickup basketball, you know what the winning score is. Tonight it's 61.
Mayo working around Beasley. Shot no good, but a foul is going to be called. Mayo drew contact from Beasley on the way to the rim, and free throws are going to come. By the way, this is the starting group for both teams. This is how it started, and this is how both teams intend to finish. The Rain with Childress, Beasley, Snead, Trice, Kamau Stokes, Kansas with Mason, Hanna, Bragg, Mayo, and Billy Preston as Mayo goes to the free throw line.
The Jayhawk Hoops are doing smart things in this Elam ending period. They did it in game 2. You get the ball to the guy who's hottest, Zeke Mayo. Make sure he gets a touch. Make sure Frank Mason gets a touch. At the other one at Purple Rain, is Xavier Snead and Michael Beasley going to get touches? So far, not so. They are the guys that need to get the basketball inside the paint and make a difference for Purple Rain, as this is a 2-point game in game 3 and the last deciding game of this series.
Mayo, 2 big free throws. He's 5 for 5 at the free throw line. It's now a 1-possession ball game with the Purple Rain in front. Beasley guarded by the much smaller Hanna. You got to think that he'll try to take advantage of the size advantage. He's going to try to post up. Hanna. Mason comes over. Childress for 3. Shot no good. High off the rim. Bragg had it for a moment. Knocks it loose, and Preston comes down with it. Mason, he is 1-on-2. He's going to take it now. Smartly dribbles out. Finds Hanna. Hanna to the rim. Shot no good, but he's going to be fouled.
Which team is going to have the perseverance to say, I know it's going to be physical, but I'm going to continue to drive it to the paint. Continue to try to get it to the rim. Double teaming Michael Beasley. He said, I'm going to make a pass. I'm going to make another pass, and refused to say I'm going to power my way in. Not so with Jacob Hanna, and before that, Zeke Mayo.
Hanna misses the free throw. Has a chance, though, to pull his Jayhawk Hoops team back within 1 with a second opportunity coming. Again, the game clock is turned off. However, the shot clock is on as Hanna steps back to the free throw line.
Any non-shooting foul will be 1 free throw and the ball back to the team that had it.
Hits in front of the rim and stepped across the free throw line. Beasley is pleading his case, but Hanna's going to get another opportunity. Notice both those free throws were short. He's got to be a little bit leg tired. 3rd game in 4 days. Hanna has played a lot of minutes. That's what happens when you're 23 years old.
There's a battle going on. Carlton Bragg playing physically, and Michael Beasley said, that's why I got shoved into the lane early.
Hanna hits the second opportunity. So back to a one-point contest. Meanwhile, Kansas shows a little pressure following the free throw. Now they'll back off.
3-0 since we've went to the Elam ending. Advantage, Jayhawks hoops.
Mayo guarding Childress out front. Typically waiting for a high screen. This time they're flat in the 1-4.
Can Michael Beasley make a play down the stretch?
Inside 10 seconds. Beasley lost the ball out of bounds. And it's going to go Kansas's way, although Beasley wants to do a replay, and we're going to have a challenge. So a review is going to come from K-State here. With the Purple Rain up by 1, 53-52. They think the ball, Purple Rain, the K-State bunch thinks they should have the ball back. But we get another look. Might have gone off Preston's right knee. There's the knee. Beasley looked like he dribbled off Preston's right knee. That's my look at it. What do you think, Stan?
It does look like both of them wearing the black long leggings. It does appear that it hit the knee of the defender. Now, did Beasley's fingertip touch it after that? Who was the last to touch the ball out? It's a good challenge here for Purple Rain because possession of the ball is very, very big right now, as the Jayhawks hoops again have been the better team when the game has been on the line in a close game.
Target score once again is 61. The fans in Manhattan cheering because it looks like K-State may get the basketball. Meanwhile, both sidelines are going to take the opportunity to visit about it following the review. Going to take a look. Target score is 61. K-State needs 8 to get there. Kansas needs 9 to get there.
And the stress of knowing that is just unbelievable for these players. They're used to working with the time, and now they got to think about the score. Do you want a 3 or not? Beasley lost control of the ball just a little bit, but then it looked like it went off of the right knee of Preston. And is that enough to overturn the call?
The Elam ending stand underwent a test run in 2017. Then the TBT implemented it for all games in 2018. Players and their management have certainly embraced it. Fans have loved it. The results have been so electric that it is a topic that has come up in discussions about whether it would be applicable to basketball played at different levels. But it has made the TBT unique and exciting at the finish.
Yeah, it's just a great way to finish a basketball game. But like all college basketball, the review is in play, and it is just millimeters of difference about how these calls are made. So if you are a Jayhawks hoops fan, you're saying, I don't think it went off his knee last. But Michael Beasley telling Lance Harris, we need to review this, ends up with the rewarding of the basketball back to Purple Rain. They'll get baseline inbounds, and we really haven't seen baseline inbounds underneath the basket yet tonight for either team. This will be the first one. How much do these teams have their baseline inbound plays ready to roll? You don't have all the practice time in the world when you've only been together for a few days.
Childress to inbound. Trice in front of him. Snead in the paint at the moment is nose to nose with Hannah.
We've not seen a determination of the shot clock, and right now it says 0.8. Now they get it up to 8 seconds. So there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time to make a play for the inbounding Purple Rain.
Here we go. Childress to inbound. High screen coming. Beasley trying drive down the paint. Pass out front. 8 seconds left. Purple Rains. Childress for 3, missed everything, and Preston comes down with the rebound.
Good defense continues for the KU alumni.
Kansas with a chance to move out in front. They've trailed for a while, following a nice run from the Purple Rain.
And this is when Frank Mason goes to work.
Preston. Childress on it, ball knocked loose, and saved by Childress for a moment, who made almost an heroic play but couldn't save it. And Kansas is going to get it back, and that resets the shot clock at 30, because at least for a second, Kansas State had the basketball, the alumni group.
He really didn't have possession of it enough, but you're right, it's set back to 30 seconds, so the Jayhawks hoops will be able to reset.
So here comes Mayo. Snead guarding him. Preston with a high screen. Mayo wants a screen from Preston again, this time on the left side of the hip. Mayo, head fake, tried to step underneath, couldn't find some room, and then shoots through Beasley, and Mayo draws the contact and the foul exactly how he wanted to get it done.
Zeke Mayo, crafty, and the officials have agreed with his movements. He tried to pass the ball, but he never picked up his pivot foot, and so maybe right there, but he took the contact, gets 2 shots. The Kansas Hoops, the Jayhawks Hoops with Sharon Collins has been very smart about saying, let's have Zeke Mayo with the ball in his hands. He's got 23 points already. If not, Frank Mason, those 2 guys leading the way are the only team to score since we've gone to the target score.
So Mayo, who's been hot at the free throw line.
And guess how they're doing it? All with free throws. Every point in this session has been a free throw.
And gets another free throw to drop. So the Jayhawk Hoops team takes the lead. Lead has changed now 6 times in this basketball game. It's been fun to watch. Back and forth we go to the Elam ending. Underneath, Trice back out front. Snead for 3 if it goes. Doesn't. Hits in front of the rim. Mayo grabs the rebound. And Kansas with a 1-point lead in the basketball.
And they're on a 14-3 run right now.
And there's Hannah. Lost the handle. Purple Rain come up with it. Kamal Stokes will set up the play for the Purple Rain. Guarded by Mason, looks to his left to right. He's waiting for a defender to screen him. And here's Williams. Williams underneath, ball knocked loose. Bragg had it for a moment and then knocked it out of bounds.
Just too hard a pass. A guy is only a couple feet away from you and you're throwing a pass. Very fortunate that it wasn't a turnover against Purple Rain. No baskets made, but 5 free throws made by Jayhawks Hoops since we've gone to the Elam ending situation.
Okay. Inbounds play from Williams. By the way, if you turned in for Wichita State, New Mexico, the enchantment in the rain, that game can be seen in the Fox Sports app. Meanwhile, the Purple Rain.
That's not a turnover, except for Michael Beasley just started walking. The ball bounced off his hands. He didn't have possession. So that should be K-State basketball. But he started walking, which is a travel. So Jayhawks Hoops is like, that should be a travel. Big break for Purple Rain that they're saying inadvertent whistle. Just because it tips off his hand does not mean he has the ball in front court. He's legal right now. He's not now. They did not charge the travel against him. Where are they going to go? Can they get Xavier Snead open to get a shot?
Stokes with Mason guarding him. Ball knocked loose. No foul called. Purple Rain wanted one. And then Kansas is going to get the basketball.
Well, Purple Rain is very frustrated right now. And Jayhawks Hoops feels very comfortable. They're seeing a recreation of what they did in Game 2 down the stretch.
Jayhawk Hoops team, they need 7 points to win it. Purple Rain need 8. Bragg for 3 from way outside, and he hits it. Kansas is now 4 points away from advancing in the TBT following a 3-pointer from Carlton Bragg Jr. Beasley, you think he might go baseline. Preston guarding him. Spin move, knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with Purple Rain.
How about with a 17-3 run, how Jayhawks Hoops has responded to a 10-point deficit. A 3-pointer wide open by Carlton Bragg.
Childress checks in. Kamal Stokes heads to the bench. But it is Purple Rain basketball. Far side of the court, Williams to inbound. Beasley has it, guarded by Preston. He's behind the arc at the moment. They cleared the court for him. Decided to go to the left side. Here's Williams, long shot, no good. But the tip, no good. Still in the air, Trice has it. Shot clock reset to 20 seconds on the offensive rebound from the Purple Rain.
Almost a must-score situation to turn around some of the momentum.
Beasley with Trice on the screen. Beasley, a drive foul is going to be on Carlton Bragg Jr.
That's exactly what he should do. We've seen it smartly done by Zeke Mayo. go in there with the purpose, say, I'm going to drive all the way and force them to foul you. And if you're Michael Beasley, with his length, he's going to get a foul. So big free throws now. 6 fouls foul you out, but how about the big shot by Carlton Bragg? His first three-point make in this 3-game series was big to advance the lead for Jayhawks Hoops to 4 points.
So Beasley grabs the towel, wipes his hands off, steps to the free throw line. The thing about Beasley, when he first came on the court for game 1, had a huge smile on his face as he was warmly greeted by the fans here in Manhattan. And I can tell you that the veteran players who've had NBA experience like Beasley, like Mason, they love being in this college-type environment. They have had a blast, as have we. 1-possession ball game back. Timeout's going to be called by Sharon Collins.
Both teams will have 2 timeouts left, so they may utilize those down the stretch, but the energy in this building, very big. Way more Jayhawk fans made it over for game 3. There were very few here in game 1, but anytime you hear a basket scored here or a play, you're hearing a roar from one part of the crowd. Still more Purple Rain, but Purple Rain started the game with good defense. They're going to have to play great defense now because it's pretty easy to see what the Kansas Alumni is thinking. 2 two-point shots, and we win this game. You don't get distracted by should we shoot a 3. It would all change, though. Purple Rain in game 1 never tested. Led easily and won easily. Second game, Purple Rain led most of the time by 14 points at a time. But Jayhawks Hoops wins 84-80 as they finish the game so strongly, scoring 24-7, outscoring Purple Rain and having their largest lead of the game be the end, a 4-point lead. And here we are back in the same situation. Purple Rain ahead going into the Elam ending, and the Kansas Alumni playing better down the stretch.
Ticket sales determine the home sites. If you're wondering why home court is here in Manhattan, it's no surprise that Kentucky sold a bunch quickly. That's why La Familia has been given the opportunity to run the table in their home gym if they keep winning. It will take 5 victories to claim the title. 2 wins in the best of 3. Single elimination wins in the quarters and semis. Championship game featuring the Alumni champion against the winner of the Las Vegas bracket to culminate this event. Meanwhile, Jayhawk Hoops team needs 4. Purple Rain, coached by Lance Harris, they need 5 points to get to the target score of 61. Ball loose, and there's going to be a foul on Childress. Inbounds play from Mason. Hannah hit the floor hard. He's getting up very slowly.
Because we're in the bonus, Jayhawks Hoops will have Jacob Hannah go to the line and shoot 1 free throw, and then he'll get the ball back. If he makes the free throw, then they're within 3 points, and they might be tempted to take a 3-point shot. It actually worked against Purple Rain the other night. When they were within 4 points of winning the game, they made a free throw. And from then on, they only shot 3-point shots and missed and allowed Jayhawks Hoops to come back. No one's going to refuse to get a point right now. Don't get me wrong. But it does change the dynamics as Hannah will get to the free throw line for 1 shot.
So it kind of looks like a technical. That's not the case. It's just a TBT rule.
It's just to not do college basketball. Hey, I'm going to foul, you miss, then we get the ball back. You don't get advantaged by fouling at this point in the game. It makes you play good defense and have to play good offense to make the comeback.
Beasley still pleading his case. There's been a lot of conversations between the 37-year-old, 6'9" strong forward Michael Beasley and the officials who've been willing to listen.
It's not going to do much good right now. You're going to have to make great plays, and making a foul near half court is not a smart play at this point in the game.
So here is Hannah, the Washburn University product, hits the free throw. And Kansas Hoops team is now within 3 points of the target finish.
And Purple Rain is in 6. Do they think about 2 3-pointers because they're behind if they get a chance to get the ball back?
Here's Mayo. He can hit that 3. Guarded closely. Whistle. Foul is going to be called.
Shot clock's not running. And they're saying that never ran, and the official said put it at 13. So his internal clock in his head said, take 17 seconds off. I got it.
He's still stopping. He's telling the clock operator to put it at 1-3, like Stan mentioned, taking just a moment to get it there. That's what the delay is at the moment. Meanwhile, on the far side of the court, Zeke Mayo will inbound.
Remember, a three-pointer will win it, but Jayhawks Hoops did a good job the other night of not getting focused on that. They went and scored a 2 and then scored another 2 and beat the target score by 1 extra point. But they did not think about trying to win it in one shot. But right here with the ball in their hands, this game may be over if they make a three-pointer.
Mayo guarded by Sneed. He's likely the Purple Rain's best defender. Mayo likely Kansas' best shooter. Sneed guarded by Beasley. Mayo long three. Shot is no good. Rebound pulled down by Trice, but he did not get the shot off before the shot clock expired, and the Purple Rain will have it. So a defensive stop for K-State, Stan, to start this finish as we head toward the end of this one.
Well, they got their stop, and they're going to have to continue to make stops, but do they think about a three-pointer here?
Williams lost the handle. Hannah, Kansas, 3-on-2. Hannah to the rim, shots up and good. And now the Jayhawks are 1 point away. Meanwhile, on the other end, Beasley, a timeout's going to be called.
Lance Harris called a timeout when Beasley was ready to line it up for a three. That's one basket, but still 1 point needed. If Purple Rain were to foul, that would allow the Kansas Alumni to go shoot a free throw to win the game. Right here, a breakout, great defense again with a lot of physicality. Great finish by Hannah. He started the scoring, and now he gets them within one. But you're looking at Purple Rain's position, and they've struggled scoring, but more than likely, they've got to think about shooting a three-pointer here. Their best chance to win is to go 58-61 in 2 trips. Now they're going to have to get a stop, but can they get multiple stops? So right now, if I were Lance Harris, I'd be saying, let's don't just take a 2. We're going to need to make a three-pointer, design a play to take a shot, but they have been cold as ice. They have not performed well when the Elam ending period has come. It cost them last year in a 2-point loss to the Jayhawk Kansas Alumni. It cost them in game 2, and it might cost them again here tonight as they've not played nearly as well as Jayhawks Hoops has under the pressure.
This first series matchup, the rivalry matchup between the Jayhawks and the Purple Rain, guaranteed a rivalry matchup. The 2 met last year in Kansas City. Kansas rallied to win 59-57. The tournament is 13 years old, and these 2 teams have been around a lot, but the K-State versus Kansas Alumni matchup had bracket scenarios that did not culminate with a matchup. Beasley missed it. Shot loose. Childress just has it. Childress driving. Sneed for 3. No good. Mason has it. Kansas needs 1. 2-on-1 break. Manson to the rim, and it's over. The Jayhawks Hoops team have hit the target score, and they are going to advance to face the winner of the New Mexico enchantment and the aftershocks of Wichita State. It is over here in Manhattan.
And it's Frank Mason again.
That brings us to the end of this telecast. We send on our thanks to the support crew in Bramlage and Lee Arena. Mason and Tyshawn Taylor with a hug at midcourt. Jayhawk Hoops team rallying at just the right moment to give us a moment to remember for all the fans who attended the TBT. And if this is Frank Mason's last game because of his retirement, it won't be because he's got another game coming. This is how it ended, Stan.
He knew he was going to make it. There was no doubt. One hand, right hand. Just like the last game, he played great down the stretch, finished it off. When we went to the Elam ending, K-State led by 4, but KU outscored them 11-2 at that point, and they dominated down the stretch after they were behind by 10 points. And they dream of a home game. If Wichita State's alumni win in the next game, then it'll be Monday night Jayhawk Hoops going to play the Aftershocks in Wichita. But if New Mexico pulls off the win like they did last night, actually, we will go to Topeka and see the Jayhawks Hoops host Frank Mason winning down the stretch. It's something KU fans have seen throughout his whole career, and they did an excellent job. They hardly ever led in the 3 games, but they win this series for the first time ever in TBT history. They win 2 games to 1, and they do it on the road.
Mason with 2 straight game-winning hoops to win it. And the Jayhawk Hoops team is celebrating alongside their fans here in Manhattan. What a fun series it's been. I want to do this again in 2027. But again, we send along our thanks to the support crew, Bramlage Coliseum, Lee Arena, Washburn University, and Topeka for the contributions to what has been a wonderful event. Our coordinating producer is Mike Burks. Our game producer has been Joe Nicola, and our director has been Doug Brown. We thank both of them. Our final score once again, Jayhawk Hoops 62, Purple Rain 55. For Stan Weber, this is Mark Ewing saying thanks for watching. We're headed to Wichita next. Shockers against the Enchantment. Chris Foster's and Nick Barr are standing by. But for now, good night, everyone, from Manhattan.